THEMOSHOW Chicago. Once again, yes, I know you all thought that I forgot today, but I did not forget today. Working to stay consistent. No, I didn't forget about you all. Just been busy today. Doing a lot of housework, house repairs, groceries, cooking, laundry, recording, reading. That's right. You all may not see me on this channel for a couple of days because I will be working on my other channel, MOPOWERZ, with the continuation and finalization of Stolen Legacy. We've been busy, you all. Don't think we haven't been doing nothing in the background. We have been busy. What about you? What are you doing this Tuesday night? Was it Tuesday special tacos for you? You know, did you go to the hair salon? Did you go bowling? Did you come home after work and just watch TV? Watch a couple of game shows? Did you deal with your bad baby kids? Yeah, but needless to say, you all, we are having a fantastic time tonight. Yeah, with some crazy information. But before we get started here, let me ask you a question. Do you think that people who talk about other people are small-minded? Or do you think that people who talk about ideas are bigger-minded? I mean, that's a saying like that. You know, small minds talk about people and big minds talk about ideas. But I had to pose that question to you. If we did not talk about people, what would we talk about? How many ideas do you have, or people that you know, that you can talk about those ideas and share them with them? Most people are workers versus thinkers. And if you don't think, you can't have any ideas because you're too busy working. And if you do have them, you can't get to them because you have other responsibilities like life. It is amazing. Could you imagine going to school, learning about ideas versus being instructed on how to do this or do that? Like, how many years have many of us spent in the public school system or private school system? Could you say that what of the most of what you've learned that you've used, what do you mainly use? Reading, writing, math. Many people don't read today. Some people still have a hard time reading. I'm just saying, think about the people that you know. Even when you watch game shows tell you things about people that you normally wouldn't think about. For example, Family Feud or the $75,000 pyramid with Michael Strahan right now, trying to make him look like another, what's that comedian name? Family Feud? Steve Harvey. But anyway, you all, just think if we were taught or had freedom, if we had freedom to think, to cultivate the ideas of our mind, what would we really be? Think about that. Are you a person who talk about people, or are you a thinker? But we're always talking about people. That's what news is about, right? So you mean to tell me that many of us on this planet are small-minded, which is why 90% of us are workers versus thinkers? I'm just saying. How many people control the planet versus how many people on the planet? I'm just saying. I had to bring that one to you all. And I want to thank everybody that's in the chat room right now. I highly appreciate you. I tip my hat to you because you could have been doing something else with someone else, but you decided to stop by to see what we had to say. And we tip our hat to you, and we thank you for that. Put that in your Rolodex, okay? Are you small-minded, or are you intelligently an idea thinker? Interesting. But anyway, moving right along. Before we get to these topics here, I want to talk about something else. I want to talk about Donald Trump. I know that Donald Trump was last in this title, but I have to talk about him. Because it appears to me that Donald Trump got stuck by a bombshell beauty. Speechless. Left his mouth open like, no. Couldn't even answer the question, just stuck. Do you all remember that woman of color, the black woman from Angola? Yeah, at the White House. Donald Trump told that black woman that she was just gorgeous, beautiful, and she's a beautiful person inside. He was stuck. Couldn't get the words out of his mouth or nothing. I met a lady like that when I was in D.C. I was rolling around being a salesman at that point in my life. I was around about 23 years old. But I ran into this lady by the name of Miss Grace. I rang her doorbell, and when she opened the door, I was stuck. The most gorgeous woman I've ever saw in my entire life. No makeup. Black woman. Said that her husband was a neurologist. When she asked me what I was selling, I was just stuck like Donald Trump. You know what Miss Grace did? Miss Grace told me to come on in. Don't worry about it. She understands. But needless to say, Miss Grace showed me around her house. Showed me around this big mansion of hers. Gave me some lemon juice. Gave me some money as well. Didn't give me the sale, but gave me some money for my pocket. Yeah. And she heard my demonstration, heard my spill and everything. But she didn't want what I had. But she appreciated the compliment. So I understand, Donald Trump. Everybody likes chocolate, man. Why you think Americans drink coffee? And what really satisfies is a Snickers bar. That's also chocolate. Don't you like your hot cocoa in the winter? Everybody likes chocolate. Even Donald Trump. Yeah. Moving right along. If y'all are driving your cars outside, what you do? Going to work, going to the gym, going to the grocery store, going to visit family members on the expressway somewhere. Be careful, because you have tennis ball bombs being thrown by people to the windshields of their car. These tennis ball bombs are homemade bombs, and they are stuck inside of the tennis balls. And they're actually throwing them at cars. You all need to check that out. It is that crazy out here in America. Tennis ball bombs. Who would think that we could actually live in a society like that? You minding your business, driving down the street. Somewhat we've been accustomed to somebody throwing a brick at your car, somebody shooting at you while you're in your car, but now they're throwing bombs at your car, looking like tennis balls, which can cost you your life and another driver's life, your children's life, other family members, friends, relatives. These people need to be caught. These people need to be apprehended. These people need to be, you know what I'm saying. Yeah. It's the holidays coming up. And you think that you're hearing an M80 firework go off, or you're hearing a Roman candle go off, and it just may be on your windshield or through your window So keep your windows up. Keep your windows rolled up and turn your AC on. Because we got stupid people out here that want to throw bombs at people's cars. Talk about fireworks. What a hell of a celebration, you know what I mean? But there's more violence than that going on as well. Now, what can be more violent than that? That's just going to the ultimate, you would say. But they say that crime has decreased. And after going to the police station, going to talk to some of the police that I know, they showed me numbers how crime is down. For example, they said, Mo, how many people were shot and killed over the weekend? 5 people were fatally shot, and 18 of them was just shot and injured. That's still, too high for a society that want peace. But however, for the record of Chicago, the city of gangsters, crime hasn't been this low in regards to gun violence in 10 years. On this day of the year, on this week of the year. Yeah, it has decreased in that sense. But overall, when gun violence go down, what goes up? Stabbing, robbings, carjackings, hell, even sexual assaults. Remember that I told you that something was going to happen over there at that Pride Parade where Governor Fisher was holding a child at, celebrating Pride Day, up north over there. Sheridan and Broadway, Halsted and Broadway. Someone was actually sexually assaulted there. I knew that people could not have sense enough to just be peaceful in what their celebration day was. Yeah. Violence is down though. Crime is down though. Not violence, but gun violence. Well, why don't you ask Jalen Lechuga, 19 years old? Why don't you ask Isaiah Miggins, 21 years old, who beat and robbed a man on the CTA bus line, South Side? And I'm glad to say that the police apprehended them. Thumbs up, police. Tell that to Jaden Pointer, who shot and killed a 35-year-old man over here on the 1200 block of North Massasoit, which is right off Division in Massasoit. However, the police eventually apprehended Jaden Pointer. Disconnected the man, shot him twice in the chest, bang, bang. And they went right over there on the 1000 block of North Mason Street and got his dumb self, okay? And got his dumb self. People are absolutely tired of violence today. Aren't you tired of violence? I'm tired of violence. If you had enough money, where would you move to escape violence would be the question. Would you leave the hood? Yes. You better leave the hood. Silly question. But would you go back and give to the hood and try to instruct people in the hood? Some say no, leave them where they're at. They're lost cause. And many of them are. And that is sad to say when you have generations of people who don't want to live in peace. Just as the 56-year-old man who was stabbed to death at Navy Pier by a 64-year-old man. Tell that to him. According to the reports, here it is, everybody's having a great time at Navy Pier, but something takes place at the beer garden. Two elder men, one 56 and the other 64, got into a verbal argument that led to a stabbing, and one was also lacerated by the victim. No conflict resolution skills even in your 50s and 60s. Could you imagine that? What type of world are we living in? What type of people are we dealing with? It seems to me that many people are on demon time, and it don't seem to matter what age you are, whatever your skin hue is, what religion you are. It doesn't matter what occupation you have. It doesn't matter if you're a mother or a father. None of that matters. What matters is when we get into an altercation, the first thing that we look for is something to beat you to death with, shoot you to death with, stab you to death with. No conflict resolution skills. But you know what? Look at what many of us watch on television. Violence. We look at a violent movie and we say that, yeah, that was a good movie. Yeah, I've been guilty of that too now. I've been guilty of that too. Some movies that are violent are really good. You always got a good and a bad. And with the good and the bad, it seems to me that the good always comes out on top. So good always comes on top. So where's the good in your life? Where's the good where you live at? Whatever city and state you from, where is the good at in the hood? We have become so enwrapped and so accustomed to violence right now that it has become normal. It has become normal for many people not to go outside or want to go outside. They want to go, but they are afraid to go because of the lunatics that we have running around in the streets of America. When you have people just drive up and shoot you every single day. When somebody wants to come sock you across the head just for no reason, you minding your own business. Whether it be that they are mentally disturbed or they have some form of hate for people of the earth. Now some hate, some people can understand. But for just out of the nowhere, maybe that's how things kick off, you know what I'm saying? But if you're that type of person, expect drama to be at your door, expect to be caught, apprehended, expect to do some jail time. Now, will people join your bandwagon? I don't know. Many people just don't go on a violent rampage, but a powder keg is growing here in America. With the crime, with the poverty, with the loss of jobs, with the corruption of city officials and government officials, the influx of immigrants, the influx of new drugs. It's outrageous. Television, if you're not watching something full of violence and you say it's good, you may be watching something that's out of the norm. Because it appears to me, if you watch television, you'll find that a lot of things is going on with the roles in which people are playing their characters in these programs that we're watching on TV. Y'all think about that. You hear me? Some things I can't say. But I think you understand the writing on the wall. Yeah, I think you understand that lesson. And why are we seeing that today? Why are we seeing a transition from men being men to men being women? That's not normal. But some people think that it's normal, and some people say that they were born like that. I can only speak from what I know, okay? That's not normal. But that's what we're seeing every day on TV. This is what our children are seeing as they watch television. Even in the cartoons today, violence and having same-sex intimacy. That's a violation to human nature. Say human nature? You're wrong, Mo. Well, how about nature, okay? How about nature then? Seeing that nature was here before the human. Okay? Y'all think about that. Y'all think about what else is going on in Chicago with the speed cameras. Right now, they have speed cameras that have been fully activated over there by Rosedale High School, Lincoln Park High School, Perspectives High School, and it's another high school. But anyway, it's 4 of them. They already gave us a warning in regards to if you do over X amount of miles per hour, that you charge $35. But if it's over 10 miles per hour, it's a $100 ticket. Well, for us Chicagoans, did you know that they've made it a law and Governor Pritzker has already signed it for traffic tickets for low-income people? What else am I to call us but people, right? Low-income people. And you get a waiver for eligible fees, eligible fines, but it has to go through guidelines now. So don't just go out there thinking you're going to do 80 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour down the street and it's going to be waived. No. There's restrictions to that. There are exceptions to that. However, if you are one of those people who, you just get caught up because it happens. We don't want you to lose your job because you can't pay a parking ticket. That's what they said in the report. We don't want you to lose your job and be homeless because of a parking ticket. So here you go, despite the fact that Mayor Brandon Johnson, just put up all of these speed cameras, and many of those speed cameras are in low-income areas. Across the city, across the state. But Governor Pritzker signed, like I said, so it's actually a law now. Traffic ticket waivers for people who live in low-income areas. How about that? Shouts out to, I don't know what to put, no. Shouts out to Buddy. Shouts out to JD144. Shouts out to Chris Love, Jesus. Shouts out to Marisol Gonzalez. And everybody else that's out there in the chat room. I want to thank you, and I want to tip my hat to you for being here. And if you want to subscribe to this channel, just press the button. If you want to support the channel, just press the join button. Like, share, subscribe, and join. And when you join, we have silver packages, we have gold packages for members. So look into that and support the channel. And if you can't afford it, press the subscribe button, the like button, and the share button. And if you are into history, if you're into traveling, If you're into audiobook series, go over to my other channel, MOPOWERZ, here on YOUTUBE, where you will find audiobook series, the likes of Stolen Legacy, which we're currently working on. I'm telling you, I'm going to finish that this week. I'm not doing nothing else on this channel until I finish this book, which we're almost done with, okay? And we have Black Man of the Nile and his family. We have As a Man Thinketh, the chronological order from alchemy to Wicca, the demonology of King James, the destruction of black civilization, the fall of America from Babylon to Timbuktu, the miseducation of the Negro, the world's 16 crucified saviors, which there will be a remix of, and we're going to put that on this channel. Okay? No taking down videos. Because when I take down videos that don't look like they got a lot of numbers, that's like really struggling, even though they say I'm a struggling, YouTuber. But the numbers that's really struggling, I took them down, and I got some of my subscribers taken away. So, words of wisdom. If you are a new content creator, leave the video up, man. Don't take it down. They don't like that. Or they don't like when I do it. They may like when you do it. I don't know. But they took my subscribers, okay? When I took 3 videos down. I'm just saying. Leave it up there. It is what it is, right? And if you're into traveling, go over to MOPOWERZ, where you can take a ride with me to the Gardens of the Gods in Colorado. Colorado Springs, that is. Take a ride with me to San Diego in California, which is on this channel and Mo Powers. Take a ride with me to Mo Pop Museum in Seattle, Washington. Take a ride with me to Churchill's down in Kentucky. Take a ride with me to Bourbon Street in Memphis. Take a ride with me to Nashville, Tennessee on the Strip. Take a ride with me to the Georgia Guidestones before they got destroyed. Take a ride with me to South Dakota to see the Badlands. Take a ride with me to see Crazy Horse in South Dakota. Take a ride with me to see Mount Rushmore in South Dakota. Take a ride with me in Montana to see the 1,000 Buddhas, the Garden of the 1,000 Buddhas. Take a ride with me to Polson, Montana. Absolutely fabulous. St. George, Utah. Las Vegas. Florida. Yeah. Miami. Fort Lauderdale. And many other places. Right there in Florida. All the way up to Maine. The whole East Coast. And whatever's in the middle, okay? We've done it all. So if you're into traveling, go to that channel, MOPOWERZ. And if you are into Chicago, anything, whether it be old school hip-hop, gangster rap, spoken word, R&B, you know, independent movies, Chicago street clips, go over to my other channel, THEMOSHOW Classics, all one word, no space here on YOUTUBE, and you will find the likes of Diane Carter, Dion Cole. I happen to get those mixed up sometime because of the D's, okay? Yeah, but Diane Carter, Dion Cole, Reggie Reg, Snoop, Quintella, Shari, Daryl Banks, Creative, Quinny Sitchell, One Man and a Mic, Mecca, Big Taz, Crucial Conflict, Twister, Shauna, Mano, Nomads, Cadillac Seville, Official Business, Affiliated Fellas, Cadre Enterprises, and a whole lot of other people on that channel over there. THEMOSHOW Classics, all one word, no space here on YOUTUBE. And later on tonight on this channel, I don't care, maybe like 2 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning, we got more episodes of We Got That Smoke. And after that, Mo Powers, Stolen Legacy, continue, finished, finally, so that I can move on to something else. When you start a project, you can't move on to another one until you finish that one which you're currently working on, especially when you got 3 channels like I do. It's not all that fun, but it's going to be well worth it, you all, 1,000, okay? And on your way out the door, make sure, like I said, you hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell and the word all to help ensure that you get notifications when I upload videos on YOUTUBE. And also press those condiments to like and to share. Share the information with relatives, friends, co-workers, anyone that you come into contact with. It is a magnificent way to jumpstart your CONVERSATION. Thanks for viewing. I tip my hat to you. That's my time, and by all means and always, never give up on your DREAMS. We'll see you all later on tonight. Peace out.